that Klim Sani4 can use to try and outpace and outfarm here, Team Spirit?
If you don't get too far behind, in the early stages, I think that would definitely be something that you can use, clearing stacks, pushing out waves. But like I said, Team Spirit has a very, very fast pace setup here with the Weaver, Puck, and Mars tri-core. So you just have to be able to survive the early laning phase for Klim Sani4. That's going to be the most crucial part for them to look at right now, surviving the first 5 minutes. If they cannot survive the first 5 minutes, I feel like they're gonna just get run over by the Enchantress even in the early game. And then when the Mars and the Puck has a lot of levels, they're gonna be able to rotate around and set up kills very, very easily. So that's gonna be my primary concern. When that happens, there's very little you can do if you have a slow lineup that relies on your cooldowns. You gotta use your cooldown. Maybe if you don't, and maybe if you get a big kill, then after that you're gonna maybe lose Roche, lose tower. So it's gonna be hard, at that point. So they have to make sure that they at least break even in the laning phase. Maybe if they fall behind, try to limit the amount of losses that you're gonna have to be dealing with. Like if you lose one lane, I guess you have to try to maybe sack the lane and help the other lane and try to make sure that one of the side lanes is gonna be fine.
So you just need one lane to go right, basically.
Yeah, because mid lane is basically gonna be like a 50-50, or maybe even Pango should have some advantage here with all your spells being physical. Your shield crash is physical. And we see a fight here in the ruin. I mean, not much, just some damage being traded here.
No, not bad. Will
Decent.
cause Mira to a couple more tangos here, as you have a bit of lag from the Team Spirit camp.
So what did they trade? They didn't trade any blood grenades or anything, right? It's just
just
training
for
spells. HP. Okay, so not the end of the world. Gyro took Rocket Barrage, so it's gonna go back to the top lane. Okay, so he doesn't have a Flat Cannon. I always feel like Flat Cannon is probably the spell you want to have in the lane, but maybe he feels like against Enchantress, he needs to try and trade against the Enchantress. So Barrage is actually better for that. So I'm wondering if that's the case, right? You know that he has Barrage on Gyro. Do you actually try to... What do you do as Ench? Do you get the... I guess maybe you can get the heal and just trade, yeah? A level 1 heal and just stand there and trade. Yeah, we'll see what Miposhka does. All the small little things actually matters a lot in the laning phase. Sometimes I feel like it's not being talked of enough.
Yeah.
Like you just assume like it's something normal for the players to do in the lane. So he's gonna go with the enchant at level 1. Right, so let's see how he does it. So he's planning to just slow the Gyro every time he tries to harass with the Barrage. And get a creep eventually.
I was just looking down bottom where the Phoenix ended up getting harassed pretty hard out of lane. So you can see he's kind of just left behind the tower. Is trading well with Mira at least, so it's leaving Collapse and Munkushi in a 1v1 in the lane at least for now. But that was almost pretty disastrous from them. They did end up losing that ward. As top lane, they do toss that blood grenade towards Miposhka. Almost, and you can't kill yourself on your own blood grenade, but got pretty darn close with the creep chasing him. Pretty scary, but he's just fine.
He got his level 2, so he has his heal up. So he'll be okay in this lane. Magnus is also last hitting pretty nicely. Like he has like 66 base damage at level 2, double circlet, double branches. So this is gonna be fine right now for Magnus. As long as the opponent can't kill you in the lane, you're happy just maintaining creep equilibrium somewhere near your tower and just constantly last hitting and denying creeps. And all Sweden Strong needs to do in this lane is just try to body block all the camps so Enchantress doesn't have any good creeps to use. Or he has to go very far away to get a good creep.
Yep, just time out of the lane, time he's not getting any XP. All makes a pretty big difference here. Lane pushed out pretty far is going to be pretty good for Klim Sani4. It's going to help Cloud continue getting to CS. He's keeping just about even with everyone. Mid lane as far as CS goes, fairly even. Kyra Jr. a little bit further behind, but he's dragging a big creep wave here, so he's just about even if he can still hit a couple of these. And he is.
Yeah, nicely done by Lara, dodging some of it with the phase shift, so it doesn't really take as much damage as the Pango would like to do onto the Puck. Like I said, all your spells right now is physical, so every time you use your spell, ideally you have to be able to land it on the creeps. You get the creeps and you get the Puck at the same time. If you're not doing that, then the Puck is always gonna have a lot of opportunities to use his spell on you, and it's easier to land it on the Pango because Pango has to last hit near the creeps. So he has to make sure that he has some good traits going on for him with his spells. Again, Laro dodges, or not sure if the Pango missed or Laro kind of dodged that with his sidestepping in the lane.
Yeah, I didn't catch that one either. You can see how well Miposhka's starting to do in this lane, though. He's going to be on the lookout for another creep, but use that first enchant. Looks like just to slow Sweet and Strong a bit. Any big surprises so far in these lanes? As maybe down bottom, Mira should fall for first blood here. They don't have the Spear of Mars, or, well, didn't have the mana collapse, choosing to hold on to that healing Lotus for a rainier day. He's gonna get first blood here.
I felt like he was thinking about trying to use the Lotus on the Rubik and then decides against it. He decides that
he's gonna be okay. Phoenix, a universal hero now, so and has been for a while, right? So pretty good right clicks out of this guy, just bad armor.
Yep, that's a pretty nice kill for the lane since the Mars has a lot of denies against the Ursa. They both have similar last hits, but the denies are definitely going to start to rack up, so that kill kind of sort of equalizes the lane, or at least even put them in a better position right now. So the Mars is going to have to wait for his regen to come to the lane before he can start to play aggressively once more.
And Mira doing what he can here, contesting the small camp full. Collapse, as you say, just waiting for regen to be delivered. Fortunately, he's got a couple of creeps underneath his tower, so should be able to CS these just fine. Top lane's been shoved out pretty constantly as well, actually, by Spirit. Cloud hasn't really been able to find a skewer back into tower to punish. Poshka kind of putting himself in a tricky position here, but I think should be fine, and otherwise might look to steal another creep. He's got a Wild Ring Ripper here for the taking if he wants it. You can see Yatoro just too hard to grab. Too fast now with that level 2 Scucci. Will be hard to catch up to him. Down bottom, they will lose respect. Mira and Collapse able to string together a kill onto the Sport Phoenix.
Yep, and Ursa is also out of regen, and they're gonna pop the Glyph. They're gonna dive him here.
Oh, they got it. The courier of the Phoenix, actually. Blood Grenade down, and the Sentry, Munkushi. Nice footwork there. Gonna be able to leap over the trees. Mira knows he's been juked because he's got that shockwave effect on him, but otherwise going to be powerless to do anything about it.
Yeah, but Ursa is definitely not having a good time in his lane. And top lane, Sweden Strong gets taken down by Miposhka.
Cloud will be able to get one in return here. They already used that Hurricane. Actually, this healing is incredible.
Level 2 heal, bro.
Never mind. Never mind.
Level 2 heal. You're not killing him. So 6-minute power rune is going to spawn in a bit. Shira Jr. is going to get a baller refill from Sweden Strong. And he's going to hope that he's actually going to be able to claim this power rune. That's going to spawn in a couple of seconds. He has roll up. Puck's going to move to bot. And Lady Luck is on our Lady Puck side. He picks up an arcane rune. This is going to be very, very dangerous for the side lanes, Whenever you see the mid laner, the enemy mid laner gets a rune.
Miposhka.
He's fine. He is fine.
Yeah, well, Miposhka's just going to be out of there. That's not too fun here for Kyra Jr.
Alright, they're going to push with the catapult wave, so Puck has a catapult. Both supports are... Look at Miposhka. He even TP to the tower. He didn't TP back to base, and they get the coil here.
Might be able to assist for the kill. Connecting from behind is Mira. This is a very tanky Pangolier. Will he be able to live to do this? Oh, extra spells being cast courtesy of this Arcane Rune support now in the form of the sweet and strong Gyrocopters. Kyra is going to now look to turn. There goes the roll. The right clicks will not be enough damage. Will he chase after? He will not. No jaunting on that one. That's because Laurel already dead. The rotation from Sweet and Strong just too good.
Yep. Very, very nicely done by Team Sani4, rotating both the supports over on the Phoenix and on the Gyro to defend the tower. That was actually a really, really important move for them to make. If they are not going to move there, I feel like the tower is just going to either take a lot of damage or just going to straight up go down. So teleport was still alive. And okay, first danger averted for Team Sani4. But Team Spirit is still having a comfortable 2k net worth advantage because of the laning phase. And let's see if they can actually start building onto it. Yatoro has Falcon Blade into, what is he getting? A Dragon Lance, rather? Yeah, Dragon Lance after this. So that's gonna make him very, very, very tanky, and it's gonna, he's gonna be very aggressive. And bot lane collapse. Needs to get out.
Is running. Does need to get a bit more distance.
Oh,
That last
nice.
Fire Spear tags him. He will drop
Here comes
Yatoro.
Yatoro.
Commits the TP to come down bottom. Wants this kill onto the Ursa
Oh, he
Warrior,
missed.
who does have the inner range. Will not be able to find the Swarm. And that means the bear is going to be free to hibernate back. And he's safe and sound. Phase Boots now delivered. Mid lane, second rune
Iposhka,
spawn in.
ED.
This one onto Maposhka. Laurel was looking down bottom, fighting the Pangolier, but ultimately doesn't even need to assist Maposhka here. Who's looking like the real carry, at least with the DD rune. Back mid. Tango. Trapped in another Dream Coil here. I don't really know if there's much they can do to kill him, though. Maposhka a bit too far away.
Yeah, I mean, if the Rubik was nearby, then maybe they could have threatened to kill him. Otherwise, it's just too difficult. But another lift. Mira should be dead here.
Yeah, not much you could do there. Just simply out-rotated
Yeah.
by Respect that time around. Sweden Strong chasing for more on the Maposhka. Waning seconds of his DD rune. Swashbuckle, I believe, missed here, Winter. Either way, the Keel now online. Level 3 enchant into the Sunray, into the neutral creep damage. They will have the kill eventually. It takes 3 heroes and a couple of neutrals, but they will be able to take down the support Enchantress.
Yeah, and you see how tanky she is. We have raindrop, level 2 heal. Takes a lot of effort to bring her down. And Gyro is one of the better heroes, you know. That's why Klim chose to go with this position for Gyro to deal with the Enchantress. And I think it's kind of okay, I would say, because you deal a lot of magic damage as well. Looking at the net worth right now, it seems stuff didn't really go too bad the last 2 minutes for Team Sani4. All their cores are still able to keep up. Magnus has a stack to clear, so he's going to be able to get himself back into the game. He's going for a blink first. Okay, I like it. I think he needs to be able to come out to fight for the Ursa. Because if the Magnus goes for a greedier build, like you go Echo Saber first, it means that you're going to be farming a lot as well. And the Ursa also likes to farm at this stage when he's getting a Battle Fury. So that would mean that your whole game is going to be hinging on the Pango making rotations with the support sense. Sometimes one core moving is just not enough, you know. I like the Magnus going for a blink so he can actually move with the Pango and try to alleviate some of the pressure that this Puck Mars River Tricore is going to put on the map.
I like that. I like that point. I mean, this Ursa, what does he need to be building towards? Obviously going for that Battle Fury Winter, but what's his true online timing here? Is he looking for that BKB? Is it something else?
I don't know if I like. I'm thinking of the Octarine core build. I don't know if I like. It's good this game, because the way I think about it, what is his role in the team fight? So I feel like the Ursa is like a frontline hero here. You want to allow the Phoenix and the Gyro and even the Magnus to do their thing. You know, those heroes don't want to be in front getting initiated on. So the Octarine core build, I mean, you're not gonna get it now, but you get a Battle Fury Blink. Maybe you get a BKB, then you get an Octarine core later, or you don't want to get a BKB, just get an Octarine core with your Aghanims later with a shot. So if you're gonna just be going to stand in front of team fight and make the enemy focus you, just jump in, try to reveal the positioning of the enemy heroes so that your Magnus and the Pango can actually find the best angle to initiate onto the team. And I feel like that's a better way of playing Ursa right now, instead of just going for all the carry items. You get pressure, you get BKB, and you just try to kill people on your own.
Oh, I mean, I think it kind of at least fits the playstyle of the hero, right? I don't mind seeing that. 10-minute wagon are out so far. Both safe laners still in their lane. Maposhka, oh goodness, he's got the Skellies here now pushing. Will trigger the teleportation out from Kyra Jr., who has the cover of an Invis rune. Level 6 ready to go on that Rolling Thunder. Good damage now onto Maposhka, but the heal starts to come out. They couldn't nuke him in time. They will be able to at least save the tower from potentially going down.
He had 21 charges and a Fairy Fire. If they wanted to kill him, they needed to bring more heroes there. So
or commit the RP or something like that, right?
Even if they commit the RP, I think they would need one more hero to TP in to get the kill there. So either way, they decide not to go for it, and Collapse is pressuring the bottom tower now. Is he going for like a Blitz? Yeah, he's going for a Blitz. I think I kind of like this item on Hyde and Mars as offlaners right now, since you can't buy like Meteor Hammer anymore. I mean, you can, but it's just not good, you know. Right. So nobody buys it on offlaners. Right? I don't even know who's supposed to buy Meteor Hammer now. because of how they changed the item. You have to build Kaya on it now. Just feel like the item probably is gonna be just like dead, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting change. I kind of wonder what hero they had in mind for it. Some spellcaster, some support, maybe Coil. Instantly snapped here by Kyra Jr. Might give him enough time to get out of the way of this impending gank. He's got his Diffusal Blade delivered. Laurel missed on his Witchblade reveal. We'll see if the Diffusal goes any better now for the Pangolier. Might have to look in a different lane. It's going to come as no surprise. Both teams actually with a ward behind the enemy tier 1 tower. Almost mirroring each other. Bottom, Maposhka making a run for a blood grenade. Drive-by out from Respect. Maposhka still alive. Look at the amount of debuffs onto him, but he will be able to get out of harm's way as instead Munkushi trapped inside of that Arena of Blood will go down. Spellstolen is those Fire Spirits, and look, even less armor now on the Phoenix. Yatoro collecting both kills, so eager to rotate and activate his game. He's right back top, ping-ponging around the map.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. That was actually a really, really difficult and risky play to make onto the edge there. Like, so tanky, 21 charges. Gyro tries to push out the lane with the triple cooldown. And they're going to try TP into the Magnus.
RP onto the Collapse Mag as well. Spellstolen is going to be Shield Crash, so no easy way out of this one for Mira, unfortunately. It's his own Shield Crash off. Always wanted to see Rubik do the little movement spells, but he dies all the same. Tower is going to still drop. So Team Spirit did get they were looking for. They got Kyotora out of harm's way immediately. He's continuing to collect farm in this top lane. Still the richest hero of the game. But good move still from Klim Sani4 all the same, I would say.
Yep, definitely. They have the slower lineup, so kills like this, it means a lot for Team Sani4. Get your XP on your driven heroes on the Phoenix and the Gyro and even the Magnus, so he didn't even have to get Blink, you know, to enable them to win that fight. He just TP it down and just RP. So now he has a Blink. Maybe they can just set up some Blink skewer, 40-minute Wisdom Rune, top lane.
Strong, trying to fight for this one. Is going to be perhaps surprised to see 3. Still will be able to click faster. Finds himself that Wisdom Rune before he goes down. Dream Coil again used here onto the Pangolier. No Rolling Thunder for 30. No RP for a further 50. So don't expect to see any action here as Spirit will just back themselves up and continue farming on their side of the map.
Yeah, Lara has been really prioritizing just coiling the Pango every time he sees him, and he feels like there's a team fight about that, but he just drops that coil onto him, you know. Stay there, you know, you pesky Pango. Stop trying to disrupt the team fight. I guess he feels like because they have enough stuns on the Rubik and Mars, he doesn't really need to be the one initiating, you know. He just needs to make sure that the Pango doesn't get to roll around and disrupt the fights. And I feel like that's probably the right call as well in the team fights. And now we're going to start to see the Mage Slayers appear on your mid heroes. The Pango is going to get the first one. Wonder who's going to get it on the Team Spirits lineup. I guess, do you want to get... I don't think you want to get it on Puck. Puck is not a hero that wants to use Mage Slayer. You normally see it on heroes that can right-click a lot of heroes at the same time. So Pango, Ember Spirit, those are the very, very common ones. And recently I've seen some Tide Hunters get the Mage Slayer as well.
The only thing I could see, and I don't think this is going to be the case, especially for a core weaver, perhaps for an off-lane weaver, I could see it, but that shard build does give you an opportunity to multi-attack as well with the Sakuchi. But again, I just don't think you go for that as a carry.
It's not a carry item, but I do agree sometimes some carry heroes would like to get it. But overall, it's more of like a mid-hero item right now. The off-laners have the Veil and the Eternal Shroud, and the mid-heroes have the Mage Slayer. The carry's just got nothing.
I could see it in a matchup that's like extremely magic based. You know, if the enemy's got a lot of magic burst.
Like if you're playing against like enemy carry is Lash, I think maybe you can consider getting a Mage Slayer.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right? Otherwise, I think it's just not going to be the case. Klim Sani4 looking for a fight here. Their smoke's breaking all the way around. His Fire Spirits
they see him
again stolen. Poshka. Well, it's going to be Sweet and Strong inside the Arena of Collapse. He's going to go down low with the hasten around the fight. So there's going to be the Blink reveal. RP onto 2. What are the Ursa Warrior into the roll-up. It's going to be 2 dead immediately. They will be able to snap that coil, but nice driving here by Kira Jr. as he's onto Mira immediately. Yatoro joining this fight has a Desolator, so he's not weak whatsoever. Laurel is going to finally lose this haste rune. the fight will not be done quite yet as Yotaro wants to chase for more. The blink forward now by Laurel. Fire Spirit slow, though, really making this quite difficult as they commit the egg now. Laurel trying to right-click it down. Yotaro now joining them as well. Laurel from the low ground is not going to be able to provide any assistance as Yotaro goes down. The egg explodes in his face. Couldn't get off the time lapse. What the hell was that fight?
They needed to go to that fight, but I feel like they went in a little bit too early because Yotaro was TPing over. Like he needed like a little bit more time before he can actually get to the fight. He wants to fight with the Dazzle, like you mentioned. It's a very, very strong timing for the Weaver, but unfortunately his team just wasn't able to coordinate everything at the same time, you know. Like they weren't playing for 2 months together or 3 months. You mentioned this earlier. And some rust is quite normal in terms of team execution, the team movement. So we'll have to see how Team Spirit tries to fix that in the next fight. You know, they have a dagger on the Mars right now. They have to try to get a move, you know, that works for them happening. Because otherwise, when you keep doing moves like this and you keep losing the fights, you're up against a Magnus, Phoenix late game. You're not going to be having fun later.
Yeah, this could be quite the catch as well. Onto Cloud, they've got this Observer Ward that gives them all the vision they need here. An easy kill there.
Oh, Sweden Strong. He's in trouble too. Gonna drop the call down.
Yeah, we'll be able to get a little bit more space here. Fire Spirits tagging Miposhka and Collapse here as Laurel chasing Sweden Strong into the river is going to take down to that Witchblade EOT.
Yep, and Yotaro is already Shokushiing over. He's trying to farm near his team, so he's ready to join at a moment's notice here. Angolia has his Mage Slayer done, so that's going to reduce the Puck's magic damage in a team fight if you can land the debuff on her.
Ooh, careful here. Gyra Jr.
Right, nice.
The patience
Nice.
paying off here from Team Spirit. Mira collecting it with the stolen Shockwave. Really nicely done, and immediately onto the tier 2 tower with Yotaro's Deso debuff. This is a really good push out from Spirit.
Yeah, we're gonna probably see that a lot more often. The Dream Coil into the Spear snapping the core. That's a pretty deadly combo for Team Spirit. And if you look at Team Sani's ways of dealing with it, they don't really have very good tools of dealing with coil into skewer initiation. You know? You have to, sorry, not skewer, spear. So you have to try to maybe get a use, I think, on one of your heroes so you can actually try to prevent the Mars from doing the spear once the coil comes in. But then when he gets BKB, it's going to be useless as well, you know, unless you get a Wind Waker.
Pricey item.
Yep.
Pricey item.
They don't really have much of a way of saving until you get either the Aghanims on Phoenix or Wind Wakers on play. So as of right now, that combo is going to be very deadly for Team Spirit. And Monkushi, he's going to finish his BKB in a moment. So that's going to help him survive in the team fights.
I think you said it already, but that Mage Slayer online now for the Pangolier, so that's going to be a big item for them here as well, given all the magic damage that's coming out for the nuke. The burst damage, I think, from Spirit is incredibly magical still. I think we're starting to hit that turnover point where Yotaro is going to quickly start really plugging the gap there, as he is going to head first into that Crystallis after the Deso.
Yep. He's going to have to figure out how to get Roshan in the next couple of minutes. With this Deso, you always tend to think about how you can secure the Rosha with this item, and the pace of the game cannot be too stagnant, you know, for Team Spirit. If the game is stagnant, just trading farm, that would not be good for them. And here comes the
what a ward. The smoke to the gate collapse. Just blinking onto the high ground completely.
Oh, nice
blind.
arena.
Really good arena here. Is he going to be able to escape? Not quite, as they interrupt his movement there. The arena used, however, and 5 enemy heroes closing the door on him. Even the Phoenix Supernova used.
There was a bit of an excessive ultimate to drop on him. So that might actually give Team Spirit enough of an opening to go in, even though the Mars is dead.
Good to go here, initiating onto the Ursa. No enrage for 25 seconds. The heals are pretty darn good as Miposhka jumping into this fight. Cloud and missing on that skewer back play. Will lose his core here. BKB, I think, just got delivered here from Unkushi. Immediately gets bashed by Orochi, who doesn't have any animation. don't know if this is just a me thing or if you've got this. in your game.
No. This has been happening for the last couple of days.
Yeah, okay. Let's make it look a little bit more threatening.
Or RP.
It's a good one. They're going to be able to catch Laurel. They burst him immediately. Munkushi popping the BKB, committing to this fight. As Collapse having respawn, TPing back to that tier 1 tower now. No arena for 30 more seconds as Mira is going to get tagged there
He's
by
hiding.
the Swashbuckle. Another
they
Rolling
can't
Thunder
fight it.
here as in goes Miposhka, wants to try and find this kill onto Respect, but jumped by 2. He has no chance. Mira using the stolen Swashbuckle to try and find a kill. The self-fuel scepter to buy a little bit more time as the spear from Collapse. It misses. Kyra Jr. on the money this time around. Yatoro able to get the time-lapse off away back into the pit where he sees Roshan still basically full HP. That's the core of this fight. The prize in this fight, and Weaver, he's already found a kill onto the Pangolier. There is a buyback there on Pango. Collapse, ulti ready to go. A second time in this fight. This time the spear connects onto the Magnus, but I think he wanted the Ursa. Munkushi, lower HP, but will be allowed to live for now, and Collapse, a little bit lower on life here. We'll see how this fight goes for them. As it feels like for the 3rd time we're reinitiating. Yatoro able to find a kill, but now skewered back. Do they have detection? They do. They pick up the kill, but Munkushi killed off by Collapse as he finds a big skewer. And Laurel, I think that was not a buyback, just a natural respawn, comes in and finishes off this fight. How many dead here? 9? 10?
Probably 9, I think.
10?
My maths,
Nine.
9. No, it's actually 10 if you count the buyback on Enchantress.
But I don't think he died, right? He didn't die the second time.
Oh, so yeah, okay, so 9. Yeah, you're right. My SEMF has failed me. So Roshan is gonna be Team Spirit's Rosh right now. Oh no, actually no, Weaver's dead. So they can't even kill the Rosh. They can't for sure without Weaver, so they have to just go back to farming. Mars needs to finish his BKB. I mean, you see Miposhka that he was the true carry. Like, who needs Yatoro when you have Miposhka and carrying the team fight? He was the one doing the bulk of the damage at the end of the fight to clean out those heroes after all the big spells have been expended. I feel like if you're Team Sani4 right now, you need to figure out how you can actually deal with this Ench in the team fight. You know, maybe you have to start with like, if you can, you try to skewer the Ench over and try to kill her in the initial jump. If you don't kill her, I feel like she's just gonna be able to dish out too much damage in the team fights, and you won't be able to survive against it.
It's gonna be tricky now trying to get back into this area for Klim Sani4. Roshan is going to be migrating in a minute and 10 seconds. We'll smoke up, as will Spirit, but Spirit with more fortified... they've kind of fortified this area, right? They have the Watcher, they've got the Ward, Sentry, and Observer here on top of that cliff.
BKB on Mars. Okay, they have BKB on Mars. This is going to be a big item. Yeah. He can actually just initiate confidently now.
Crystallis was done in that previous fight, but a little bit more damage coming through as there's the D-Ward, making things just about even here for Vision.
That's a creep. Yeah, the creep died.
Still waiting for the right jump as
he's under the sentry.
Overcommitted. He's got to be a bit careful. Will be able to snap back coil. Is he going to be able to live? There's going to be the Supernova on the high ground, driving back Team Spirit.
Oh, they wasted the egg.
Missile almost killing Yatoro. No way. They catch him. Cloud with the skewer on through gives just enough damage for the kill. They've lost Yatoro second time in the fight. The RP
nice
only catching on to Mira as Collapse able to sneak away in time, but Kyra Jr. just rolling through the arena, as is Roshan running through this fight. Munkushi, though, slaughtering these supports. 2 kills for him. It is going to be the Pangolier stuck on the wrong side of the fountain, however. Of the Lotus Pool, rather, not the fountain. Makes it a 2 for 3. Roshan's moving in 5 seconds.
Team Spirit got 2 core kills, whereas they lost 2 supports and a core. So it wasn't bad at the end of the day. I feel like the Weaver didn't expect to get bursted, that he had time lapse, so he just couldn't. Or maybe he ran out of mana, I'm not sure, so he just couldn't use it.
Just got
use it at the end.
I think he was expecting the distance he made with the Sakuchi from that homing missile to allow him to not be follow-up stunned, or maybe they just win the fight even without him, but really, really good commitment there from the Magnus to be able to just continue that chain stone, and they find the kill. It was incredible. This is the team, by the way, that qualified last through the Eastern European Open qualifiers, just to tell you how competitive this region is.
It's definitely very, very impressive, the game that they are showing right now, the coordination, the movements. I think especially the Magnus play, you know, Cloud, he's been showing a lot of maturity and confidence in his jumps, in his initiations. He wasn't really hesitating when he was jumping on either Lara or on the Weaver with his art, just getting the spell off without hesitating and getting his team the edge in the team fights. And so far, it's been working out for them. So Team Spirit, they are still posturing around, but they don't have They don't have BKB yet on the Weaver, so I think they can't really fight.
Roshan.
What
Sorry.
are you laughing, Richie?
It's just
Please tell me.
Roshan sinking it into the ground. It just makes me laugh. I'm just a child, okay? Just Roshan instantly pivoting around his central axis. Huge fight here for Klim Sani4, right? You were talking about how this is a later game team. They make it through what is got to be a really scary, quite stressful Roshan take. That was, what, 5 minutes long straight, pretty much, that contest. That's kind of what I was hoping we'd get very frequently when we did have that Roche update with the 2
Radiant's
pits.
middle tower
I'm glad
is
that
under
it's
attack.
at least making
Radiant's
it's
middle
it's
tower
showing its
has
head here.
fallen.
It's cool. I like that.
Radiant are scanning.
Thank you for being a mature
Radiant's
kid right now,
bottom tower is
making
under
sure that
attack.
you look at the important things in the game. And Ursa is building. He's building a basher right now. I'm not sure if I like it. You know, I mentioned earlier. I felt like probably his role in the team fight is to just be that front line, so he can't die with the shard and your enrage. Playing around the cooldowns of those spells, and
Radiant's bottom tower
maybe that's
is under
more of an
attack.
ideal way to play when you have a Magnus, Phoenix, all these heroes behind you. But instead, he feels like he needs to go in and deal the damage, which I feel like they already have a ton, you know, with the Empower.
Dire's top tower
And they have a
is
bunch of
under attack.
lockdown as well with the
Scanning.
Magnus.
Settling into just kind of a farming period now. We can see, especially Yatoro, he's really shifted on his
Radiant's
patterns,
bottom
just
tower
committing
is
for
under
the
Does he
most
have
farm efficient. I
his
mean,
BKB done yet? He needs it.
Yep.
For the next fight.
he's
He
done.
has it, and he has a Nemesis Curse as well. This item is actually, I feel like, crazy
Dire's middle tower
on
is under
Weaver.
attack.
It makes you squishy, but Weaver doesn't really care about that. You know, the way you play Weaver is like you're a glass cannon. It's either you kill the enemy first, or the enemy kills you. You know, or
Right.
Yeah,
50-50.
you
Either you
just-
kill them or they kill you, right? Like flipping a coin.
you don't. Yeah, but some players tend to build. You know, like sometimes you see players going Lincoln Scullies.
Yeah.
I guess that's like an item in the past.
No,
you
no,
know,
no.
nowadays-
I get you. Weaver is in the same pool of heroes like a Morphling and a Faceless Void, where they use their HP
No.
and HP. Yeah, they
No.
use HP and HP manipulation to outtrade their opponents.
But Morphling, you kind of want to buy items that give you stat. You know, not direct damage items.
no, but
because of
the
how it-
point is you generally tend. Well, I mean, I guess Void less so, but Morphling still has a bit of that burst damage. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, fine.
Right?
Fine.
Where they can be played
Agree.
as glass cannons, but generally speaking, you're intended to use their abilities and, you know, your Dota brain to be able
Radiant's
to
middle
take
tower is
beneficial
under attack.
trades.
Have you seen the new build nowadays? People get E-Blade again on Morphling.
It's back.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm not sure if it's an item for
Radiant's
every
middle
game, but
tower
it's
is under
kind of
attack.
back with you know, people get Kanda and then you get the E-Blade. I'm not sure if it's actually a meme build or it's actually legit for high tier games. I feel like it has a lot of potential.
Is under attack.
It's a lot of money to buy all those items, but I feel like late game it's gonna dish out so much damage. Literally glass cannon.
You know what I'm building on my Morphling games?
Dire's
No, I
top
don't wanna.
tower
Meteor
is
Hammer.
under attack.
Okay, Coil onto
Radiant's
Pango
turret
again.
has been
Yeah, it's a
destroyed.
He just soul
He,
killed.
he really did just solo con. I did not expect that.
Dire's
Oh.
top tower has fallen.
Just plenty of
How
damage
does he
on
do
it.
so much
Bottom
damage? He
tower
doesn't even
is
have
under attack.
11
Parasma
auto
yet.
attacks, only two Maelstrom proc.
Maybe he should have just broke the leash and ran away.
Radiant's
I guess
bottom
so.
tower has fallen.
Just didn't expect to die.
That was
You have the Nemesis cure, Nemesis curse. That's why you died.
Yep.
8% more.
Radiant's middle tower
No.
is
Oh
under
yeah, he
attack.
does have it,
You
right?
probably died because of that.
Gotta put it in your backpack.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Careful here, collapse, breaking the smoke. Up on the high ground, but the blink in from Cloud. It's a little crazier here. Will avoid the swarm as well from Yatoro. This is a team who, yes, has Aegis, but does not have their mid laner. Another 9 seconds. Is respawning here shortly.
Yeah.
Will TP back on in. As
They're having trouble locking on to this puck. You know, like I said during the draft, they don't have good tools until they get hacks on Phoenix, or I'm not sure who else can actually buy a hacks this game. Maybe Magnus at some point. He's getting a harpoon, so it's just another standard item on Magnus that you always want to have with the catch and the stats. But eventually, you're gonna have to figure out how to deal with this Lao puck. You know, he's gonna be a huge problem. You just saw him kill your full HP mid lane Pangolier in one Dream
Dire's
Coil.
middle
we
tower
started
is
seeing
under
these
attack.
kinds of puck builds a little bit at the end of the last patch, didn't we?
Radiant
These like
are
Mjolnir
scanning.
pucks that like just
Yes,
build in the physical.
with the shot, you play around the shot. You
Dire's
try to
middle
be
tower
more of
is
like
under
a
attack.
mixed damage hero, kind of like an Ember Spirit. in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, now the Ag Scepter's finished up, right? So we'll see this continue to become an issue.
Oh yeah, the X. Okay, so this is gonna be cool.
Pretty ridiculous attack speed.
Yeah. Sure, you get Parasma after this, right? You just get go all out in the. Oh, he already has the Parasma. All right, he is actually so flipping fat.
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
he's
tower
this guy's
is under
crazy. You know,
attack.
if they can't kill him, he's gonna discharge so much damage in the team fights.
Hunted from a Poshka. Oh, the stun, no bash. They can't find one. He does complete that TP out, making the position in here of Yatoro and Mira a little scarier, especially with Cloud closing the gap. TP out. Looks like Mira able to escape as well. No Yule Scepter on the Phoenix to be able to cancel, so really no threat here. As Team Spirit extend their net worth lead here to 13k. Not much done with the Aegis, but plenty of farm. Nearly the full Abyssal Blade finish for Munkushi now.
Yeah, and Collapse has also decided to go back for the Veil into Shivas after this. So that's going to amplify a lot of the damage that Puck is going to do in the team fights. So I kind of like that a lot, and the slow is very useful against the Ursa, for sure. I mean, late game you would think that the Magnus Phoenix should have the advantage, but because of the lead that Team Spirit has built, I feel like once they get this refresh and all these big items up, it's gonna have a significant impact in the team fights.
Uh-oh.
For sure.
This positioning.
You see the Magnus?
Yeah, they saw the Gyrocopter, and that's who they're going to jump. They know
Back.
where the
Yes,
Magnus
buyback.
is, and Laurel, he's just going right on in. Look at that damage being dealt as well. It's all from the low ground. Cloud forced to BKB. He still snaps that coil, though, as the Stolen call down now giving chase.
Oh, Munkushi has no TP.
Oh my goodness, Cloud is just dying. He's just dead. They just run him down. There's going to be now the Supernova Collapse popping the BKB. They're going to need a little bit more auto attacks to break the egg, and they can't quite get it in time. But Laurel, there's just no one on top of him as Munkushi. He's going to use his BKB to try and find this kill on a Collapse. Has done so, but in goes Yatoro, and he just cleans up shop. Collapse may die, but his arena marks the gravestone here for Klim Sani4, possibly in this game. One, that's a full team wipe.
Yeah, so that team fight, Puck did the most damage, 5,555 for some reason.
Wow.
All fives, and Weaver did 3k damage, and the rest is like 1k, you know, so this build is actually crazy. Puck doing the bulk amount of damage in the team fight. Gyro is alive, he's gonna try to clear out one wave of creeps, but to no avail. There's gonna be another wave coming in, no more wave. They're gonna have a second one right now, refresh.
Yeah, there's a Daedalus on Yatoro. Laurel is... No, I mean, he's not doing more right-click damage than Yatoro, but maybe in the fights, he's got some better...
Overall,
position
he's doing
skills.
more damage. Right?
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
So a
ridiculous.
lot is annoying phase shift
Mira?
and
Ah, there it
aggro.
is. Just a little cheeky self-telekinesis out of there. He had a Lotus. He was fine.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, you know. We are just noobs here watching some pro play Dota. Why should we doubt them, Richie? Why?
True.
Sometimes you gotta just sit and enjoy the ride, you know. Haven't you heard that?
Plenty of times. That's what I do when I cast with you.
Wow. So is that like I don't know if it's a compliment or you're just trying to throw me under the bus.
Yes, it is winter. Yes. That's my answer to that question.
So we have Mjolnir done on Puck.
Radiant are
So
scanning.
even more damage. I mean, this. What do you get next? What else do you get? Do you get leaders on Puck next?
Let me queues up. I'm curious myself, actually.
What is the next?
So much
item?
money.
Yeah. I guess you kind of have everything you need and you can't die, right? If the enemy has Hex, then you maybe have to consider getting a Lincolns on top of things.
Roche has just respawned, but Puck coming in with that 25 talent freshly learned.
Are scanning.
And Kushi needs to let Roche enter the pit.
Oh yeah, this is huge actually
This is
on the
gonna be
Pango.
dangerous. We have all the ultis we could ever want. BKBs, all the cooldowns are here. Sani4 looking for kind of a miracle fight, as there's going to be the Roche debuff now being applied. They are going to lose these stacks of the Fury swipes as well. Maybe the bigger deal here. Spirit were already aware that the Roche was in progress. I think they see the war. Yeah, they see this war just barely, but Collapse makes the jump out of the high ground. This time he only finds Sweden strong there, but it's enough for the kill. He will lose Yatoro in the immediately.
He has
just
buyback with
dies.
time lapse. He's gonna time lapse.
Buyback time lapse. He's in the fight. The RP does catch
Oh,
up,
he's stunned.
but they need more damage onto him. Where's the Ursa? Where's the damage? It's not here because Collapse is going to control everyone in this fight. Three dead instantly,
so
two
good.
buybacks, but it's over for Klim Sandwich here. That was
I mean, I felt like that was deliberate by Yasoro. He knew that he had buyback, so he didn't even use his BKB. He just like went in front, tank for his team, and then make sure that once he died, his team has the opportunity
Radiant's
to
top tower is under attack.
Dream Coil Arena, and he buys back and just cleans up the fight there. And also Miposhka he's standing in the outer precipice of the fight and just doing damage, you know, and nobody can touch him because everybody has to run from the Mars and the Puck. So this Enchant is also doing a huge amount of work in the fights. But overall, I think overall just using his body to initiate for his team there just ultimately allowed them to win the fight.
And Laurel's just hitting tier 4s, by the way. He's like, guys, it's over. What are you doing? Come here.
Man.
Go next.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, this is a man where I felt like I was the one giving him a lot of shit, you know, initially when he joined the team. But after that, he definitely proved that I'm wrong about him. I remember the first couple of months he didn't really look so good. I was like, oh, this guy is not living up to expectations.